let's do a little bit more multiplying matrices. So we have 3, 4, -2, 5, and 1, 0 times 0, 1. And then we have some other examples. So we have 4 examples we're going to do. So again, when we do this, we want to multiply the rows by the columns. So we'll start with the row here, and then we're going to multiply by the column. So let's start this. This is 3 times 1 plus 4 times 0. And then continuing with that top row, let's do the column too. So we're going to do this. So this is going to be 3 times 0 plus 4 times 1. Okay, so that's the green in here, and then this is the blue in here. Now let's do the second row. So -2 times 1 plus 5 times 0, and then we have -2 times 0 plus 5 times 1. So then let's continue on with this work. So this is 3 plus 0, and then this is also 0, so it's 4, and then -2, and this is a positive 5. So -3, 4, 3, 4, -2, and 5. Now let's try this one. So going by the rows, and then we only have one column. So this is going to be 6 times 1 plus 2 times 2 plus 0 times -3. Then we do the second row. So 3 times 1 plus -1 times 2 plus 2 times -3. And then for our final row here, this is going to be 1 times 1 plus 4 times 2 plus 6 times -3. And then, of course, I always do a check. Did I write all the numbers correctly? And so I have 6, 2, 0, 3, -1, 2, 1, 4, and 6. And this is all 1s, 2s, and -3s. So now let's do the work. So this is 6 plus 4, and then plus 0. This is 3 minus 2 minus 6, and 1 plus 8 minus 18. So then we get a 10, -5, and -9. So notice what happens when we're multiplying 3 by 3, and then by just 3 by 1, that our result is a 3 by 1. Okay, let's try this example here. So letter C, we have 1, -2, -3, and then multiplied to 2, -1, and 1. So again, we're taking the row, multiplying to the column here. So this becomes 1 times 2 plus -2 times -1 plus -3 times 1. So this is 2 plus 2 minus 3, which is 4 minus 3, which is just a 1. So that's interesting, right? We get a 1 by 1 here. Letter D, let's go the other direction. What if we flipped it? So we did a 1 by 3 times a 3 by 1. So now we're doing it the other way. So a 3 rows by 1 column, and then a 1 row by 3 columns. And so how this works is you take each row. So we're going to start with the row, 2. And so this is 2 times each column. So 2 times 1, and then we have 2 times -2, and then we have 2 times -3. Right? So you have to do each column. So let's do the next row. So this is -1 times 1, and then -1 times -2, and -1 times -3. And then for our final row, this is 1 times 1, and then 1 times -2, and 1 times -3. So then we get 2, -4, -6, -1, 2, 3, 1, -2, and -3. So when we go the other direction, 3 by 1 by 1 by 3, notice our resulting dimension is 3 by 3. So in example 9C and 9D, note that the two products are different. Even when both A, B, and B, A are defined, matrix multiplication is not in general commutative. That is, for most matrices, AB does not equal B times A, most matrices. This is one way in which the algebra of real numbers and the algebra of matrices are different. So you're going to try it. Find the product, if possible, for each of these three. So letter A, you should have gotten a 2 by 2 at the end, so 3, -1, -9, and 3. Then for letter B, you will only get a 1 by 1, 6. For letter C, that's not possible. So you notice if I'm supposed to multiply the row by the column, there's not enough terms, so this is not possible. Now let's do squaring a matrix. It's very similar. Notice that A squared is just A times A. So let's try this out. So I'm just going to expand it. So 3, 1, -1, 2, and then the other A, I'll do a different color. 3, 1, -1, and 2. Again, this is still rows by column. So let's start. So row by the column. So this is going to be 3 times 3 plus 1 times -1, and then I'll continue with that row. So I'll use this color here. And then so we'll do 3 times 1 plus 1 times 2. Then we'll do the second row here. Do it in pink. Here. So this is going to be -1 times 3 plus 2 times -1, and then the next row is -1 times 1 plus 2 times 2. And then, of course, it's always good to double check. So my top row, the first numbers are 3 and 1, 3 and 1, and the bottom one, it's -1 and 2, and that's true. And then each column, 3s, -1s, 1s, and 2s, so I did it correctly. It's very easy to make a mistake on these. So this is 9 minus 1, and then it's 3 plus 2, -3 minus 2, and -1 plus 4. And so the result is 8, 5, -5, and 3. So try this example here. Find A squared where A is 2, 1, and 3, -2. So trying this out, you would have gotten a 2 by 2, and it is 7007.